Today we will start talking about reports and dashboards. Okay, how do we create reports in Salesforce? Um, so first thing that we have to understand here is that why are we doing reporting in Salesforce? First thing, because the data is in Salesforce, correct? So since we have all the data here, some reporting abilities are also available in Salesforce, which makes things easier for you. So you don't really need to use a separate reporting tool. You can do pretty nice reporting in Salesforce itself, right? Now, what do we need to understand for reporting? This is pretty simple thing. Um, all that you have to do is you just have to understand what are the different formats of reports. You have to understand how to create a report. There is not too much that you need to think and understand about it. You just have a reporting requirement and you just have to understand how to create that report. That's it, right? Um, it's not something like the data modeling where you actually have to think, you have to decide on what is going to be the best possible solution. So in reporting, it's not that difficult. The only thing that you have to do is you just have to understand the requirement, and based on the requirement, you have to create a report. Right? Okay. So how do you start? Uh, so whenever you are creating a report, you have to understand a few things. Right? What is a report first of all? A report is a subset or a summary of data. It's a subset or summary of data, correct? So when I say report is a subset or summary of data, out of the big data, the entire database table, I'm talking about a small piece of data. For example, I tell you, give me a reports of all the opportunities of November 2015. Now, in the opportunity object, you have all the opportunities. Out of that, I'm just asking you to give me the opportunities of November 2015. Got it? Or if I say, give me a report of all the opportunities of current financial year. Now you just have to see, when did your financial year start? Let's say it started on 1st of April 2015. So all the opportunities which were created after this date. Correct? So that's how simple it is. So either it's a subset of the data or it's summary of the data. Got it? So to start creating a report, there are a few questions that you just need to ask or understand. Question number one is which object? Okay, so when I say I need a report on all the opportunities of November 2015, which object are we talking about? Opportunity object. So the first question that you will have to ask yourself is which object you have to do the reporting on. Question number two is which fields you need. Okay, so when you're trying to pull the report, you'll have to you also need to understand which all fields are required in that report. So when I say give me a report of opportunities, you will definitely be interested in knowing that when you say report of opportunity, what do you mean? Only name of opportunity, or amount, or the date, or the stage name also. So what all data should go into the report? That's the next thing. Okay, which fields are needed. Third question that you should have is which filters should be applied Filter means, is there any criteria? Like, I just need opportunities from November 2015. So that is the criteria, that the created date of opportunity should be within November 2015. Or when I say I just need all the opportunities of current financial year, the criteria is that all the opportunities which were created after 1st April 2015. Got it? So that's the filter criteria. So first of all, which object, which fields, which filters, right? In case there are any filters. Then you have to also select uh, the format of the report. Okay, what kind of a format do you want to use for the report? There are four report formats which we use in Salesforce. One is tabular, one is summary, one is metrics, and the other one is joint. Right. So these four formats are available. I'll talk about all these formats. So these are the report formats. All right. So if you have answer to these questions, your report can be prepared. Now the last question is, what do you want to do with the report? Okay. This is important. Once your report is ready, once you have created the report, what exactly you want to do with that report? Do you want to print it? Do you want to export it in an Excel spreadsheet? Do you just want to save it in Salesforce so that you can use it later on, or you just want to view the report and come out of the system? That is important. Got it? So Salesforce gives you an option of printing, exporting to Excel or CSV, save, schedule. Schedule means you can schedule the frequency of a report so that it can automatically run on the defined frequency. So let's say there is a report that you want to run on 1st of every month. So you can schedule that report, create the report and schedule it, right? So what will happen? It will automatically run on a defined date and it will be sent to the users. Okay, you have the option of uh, mentioning that send it to these users and it will be automatically sent to those users. And you can save it for future use also. Got it? So this is what you are gonna do with the report. You have to also decide what exactly you have to do. You just need to take a printout, you need to export it in an Excel, you want to save it for future use, or you want to schedule it. Alright, so you should have these 5 questions answered anytime you have a reporting requirement, and you will be able to create, or you will be able to work with the most complex reporting requirements. You will not have any difficulty. Okay, so first question, which object? Second is, which all fields are needed? Third is, if there are any filters or criteria. Fourth is, decide on the format. Fifth is, what do you want to do with the report? That's it. Right? Okay. So let's go ahead and kind of create a report. The same one, let's say the opportunity is created in November 2015. Okay. Let's go ahead and see how we can create the report. Let me log in into Salesforce. All right. So to create reports, first thing that you have to do is you have to go to the reports tab. Where do you find the reports tab? If you don't see it on your app, you can either switch to a different app or you can just click on all tabs button here and it will show you all the tabs. Yes, here it is, the reports tab. Okay, so here we have the option of creating a new report. There's a button called new report. Click on this. Okay, we're going to create a report for which object? Opportunity. So just go ahead and select opportunities. So decide on the object here. Click on create. So uh, we have to work on those 5 questions. Correct? So first one is opportunity object. I have selected opportunity object. So now I am creating a report for opportunity. This is your report builder screen. This is where report will be. This is the report preview area. This is where you can preview your report, what you are forming. This is the list of fields where you can actually go ahead and pick the fields. This is the list of filters. This is where you can actually go and put the filters down. And finally, once your report is ready, you should click on run report. Okay. So by default, there are a few fields which are included in the report. I don't need all this, so you can just go and say remove all columns. Okay, we want to create our own report, so let us remove these columns. All right. Now this report does not have anything. It's completely blank. Now whatever fields you need, let's say I need opportunity name. So drag and bring it here. See, it's very simple. It's just a simple drag and drop. Drag the field, bring it here. That's what our second question was, right? Which all fields are needed? So decide on what all fields you need. Let's say I need opportunity name. I need the amount. I need the stage. And I need let's say expected revenue. And the account name, which account the opportunity belongs to. So let's say these are the fields I needed. If you need more fields, just drag and bring them to the preview section. Okay. Account name, opportunity name, amount, stage, expected revenue. All right. Um, Now you have to go and put the filter. The third question. Do you have any filter? Yes, I have. What is your filter criteria? All the opportunities where the created date is from 1st November to uh, 30th November. Got it. So you just go to range. There are some default ranges which are listed here. Last 7 days, last 30 days, current financial year. So make it custom because I want to define a custom range from 1st November to 30th November. Okay. So there were no records which were created during this time. That's the reason why it shows zero records. I have made it from 1st November to 30th December. Now it shows some data. Right. Now, this is the report that you were looking for. Correct? So it's that simple. All that you have to do is you just have to identify which all fields are needed and which all filters you have to apply. Like we have applied a filter here. And then the next question that you have to answer is format of the report. Okay. What should be the format of the report? Now, this is the tabular format, table-like format. Okay, but you might not need the tabular format. Like there are so many records, correct? Sometimes you might just want a summary of this report instead of displaying all the fields. You might just want a summary that you don't want to see all these opportunities individually. You just want to see that for each account, what is the total worth opportunity that I have. For example, if you see, uh, this is an opportunity from Express Logistics. This is also an opportunity from Express Logistics. So, if you just want to summarize that, I don't want to see individual opportunities. There are other opportunities also from Express Logistics. Okay. So sometimes you might be interested in getting a summary of the report. That under which account, how many opportunities and what is the total worth of those opportunities. Then you need a summary report because you want to summarize the data. Alright. So you just have to go and change the format into summary format. Okay. Tabular report is the normal table kind of a report, but the moment you want to summarize or group some data based on some criteria, that's a summary report. So just go to summary format. The moment you change the summary format, you will see this thing here. Drop a field here to create a grouping. Okay, so it makes space for you where you can drop a field. Which field you have to drop? Account field, because that's the field which I want to use for doing the grouping. Right? Here it is. Okay, so now your data has been grouped by account. See, first is edge communication, so all three opportunities of edge communication have come together. Express logistic, both the opportunities. Gene point, all three opportunities of this account have come together. Correct. Now, grouping we have done, but what data I want to summarize? I want to summarize, let's say, the amount and expected revenue. So, what is the total amount for each account, and what is the total expected revenue for each account? That's what we want to do. So, you just have to go to amount field. You have already defined which field you want to use for grouping, but what data you want to summarize? I want to summarize the amount and expected revenue. So, I'll just have to go to amount, and I have to say summarize this field, do sum. I need sum of the data. See, now for edge communication, this is the total of all the opportunity. So total of all three opportunities. Okay, so the summary can be done here. For expected revenue also, you can do the same stuff. Summarize this field, sum, apply. Hmm? Now you are able to see that for each account, you have the sum of all the opportunities under this, both amount and expected revenue. Correct. And then you have all the individual opportunities listed here. Okay. But let's say you don't want to see the individual opportunities, you're not interested in looking into this data, detailed data, you just want the summary, because that's what the format is all about. Correct. So all that you have to do is you just have to come to show button here, and you have to turn off the details. If you remove the details, these records, the detailed records, the opportunity records will be removed from here. See, you can also remove the drop zone. This is the drop zone where you actually have to drop the field which you want to use for summarizing. So remove it from here. That's it. Now this is a summary report. Which account, what is the total worth of amount, what is the total worth of expected revenue, account wise, how many opportunities. So this is a summary, this is not a tabular report. The tabular report is detailed report. So when a company wants to see detailed report, each and individual record, then use a tabular report. If your client is interested in looking into a quick summary, right, let's say you are selling a product. Okay, let's say you are selling some laptops. Okay, you're a big company, you sell it across world. One is I can ask you that, okay, give me a report of all the products that we have sold, which date, how many pieces, and all that stuff. The other thing can be I can just ask you a report that can you just tell me that how many laptops we have sold in which country. So how many did you sell in US? How many did you sell in Canada? I just want the numbers. I don't want to go and look into individual records. Right? That's summary. Got it? Okay. Now, very similar to the summary report is matrix report. Summary report allows you to summarize the data based on one axis. Okay. Matrix report will allow you to summarize the data on both the axes, like this way plus this way. Okay. So just change the format to matrix report. You will understand. See, the moment you make it a matrix report, you will see that you have two drop zones now. One is vertical, one is horizontal. Okay. So let's say now you want to further break this summary report. You want to do a bit of what do you say? small summaries inside each summary. Like for Dickinson or for edge communication, how many opportunities of which type or which stage, let's say. It's giving you a total right now, right? But now I want to understand under which account, which all opportunities or how many opportunities are at which stage. How do you do that? For doing that, you have to use the matrix format. Okay, so you will get two drop zones, one vertical, one horizontal. On the vertical, we already have account name. I have to get the stage name on the other side. Drag and put the stage name here. See. Now on one side I have the accounts, on the other side I have the stage names. Well, just go to show and remove drop zones. Go to show and remove record counts also. See, this is a matrix report. Which company, which all opportunities under which stage. Earlier you were just able to see which company and what is the total worth of amount and expected revenue. Now you are also able to see that where exactly that opportunity is lying. Like pyramid construction, total sum of amount under prospecting stage. Okay, United Oil and Gas, this is total worth of opportunity, out of which this much is closed one, this much is under negotiation, and this much is for proposal price quote stage. Got it? So this gives you even better picture about your report or about your data, helps you do better analysis, right? So if you are trying to summarize the data based on two fields, then a matrix report can be helpful. Correct. So again, just go back to this example which I was talking. I was saying that a company is interested in knowing, how much sales revenue they generate from each country. So let's say the company says that okay, we want to have a breakup of country-wise breakup of the sales revenue. Which country, how much revenue did we generate? So that's a summary report. But now the company wants to understand that in which country, how much was the revenue for which product. Let's say the company is selling five types of products, right? One is they just want to get a lump sum of the revenue from each country. So that's a summary report. But when the company says that no, I want to understand which company, how much revenue was generated from which product, that's a matrix report. Correct? So the same thing. That's the matrix format. All right. Clear? Let me know if anyone has a question or doubt so far.
Jeet,
Mm-hmm.
if I want to shuffle the view here, is that possible? So I want to get the grand total, say, before the prospecting column. Is that possible?
Grand total before the
Prospecting. So right after stage, I want grand total, then the rest of the fields.
no
Okay. And is there any way to do any calculations here?
calculations as in.
As in when you were showing us the previous summary report, if I sort of wanted to know what was like the daily revenue that I'm getting from each of these accounts, is there like a way I could put a column there and do some calculations divided by 12 the daily revenue? Is that
Yes,
possible?
yes, you can do that. That's formula. You can put formulas. Right. Okay. Any other question? We are all clear with the way report is being created. So this logic is pretty simple. We understand it. Decide on the object, figure out the fields, go and apply the filters, and then just work with the format of the report. All right. And okay, so we have talked about these three formats: tabular, summary, matrix. Hmm? Now, before I talk about joint report, I will talk about another concept which is called a report type. Okay, we'll talk about another concept which is report type. I'll just go into the report type. Uh, okay, but before report type, there's one more thing that I would want to show you. Now, you don't want to segregate your reports based on the account, and you don't want to do the summary based on stage name. You want your custom grouping. Okay, you want to group the opportunities based on a custom criteria or a custom logic. Okay, that can be something like let's say I just want to understand out of all the opportunities I have, how many of them are big opportunities, how many of them are small opportunities, and how many of them are mid-size opportunities. All right. But my opportunities do not have any such field which will help you understand which is a big opportunity, which is a small, which is a mid-size. Okay. Then what do you do about that? Let's say for me, I just want for the reporting purpose, I just want to understand how many, how much revenue comes from big opportunities. For me, big ops are where amount is greater than 100,000. Let's say this is what my company's criteria is. The client is looking at creating a report or summarizing a report, wants to understand out of the total revenue, how much revenue comes from big opportunities, how much of it comes from mid-size opportunities. Let's say where the revenue is 50 to 100K, and small opportunity for us is where revenue is amount less than 50K. Okay, but this segregation is actually not done on the data. You don't have any big opportunity, mid-size opportunity, small opportunity field on the opportunity, right? But you need it for report. I just need it for report. So going and creating a field on the object will not be a good idea because I just need it for report. Apart from report, I don't need this. So the best you can do is you can use a bucket field here. Okay. So let me just go back to tabular report once again. Say show details. Okay. Now earlier we did the grouping, we did the summary based on the account. Now I'm not going to do that on accounts. I just want to create my own custom field, and I will do the grouping on that. Big opportunity, medium opportunities, and small opportunities. So here you need a bucket field. You can use a bucket field here, put it wherever you want. Okay. Which column will you use for doing the buckets? I will use the amount. Okay. What is the name of the bucket field? Size. Okay, so just give a name for your field. This is just a field that you are preparing only for this report. This will not be actually created on the object. Okay. And I have three ranges. Here are my three ranges which are defined: big ops, mid-size ops, and small ops. So 0 to 50,000 is small ops. I need one more row. 50,000 to 100,000 is mid size, and this is big ops. And say okay. So you have created three ranges. Correct, your bucket field is ready. Now all the opportunities which range from 0 to 50,000 will fall under small ops. The ones which range from 50,000 to 100,000 will fall under mid size ops, and greater than 100,000 will fall under big ops. Click on OK. See, now your bucket field is ready. This is a big opportunity, this is small opportunity, this is a mid-size opportunity based on whatever the value in the amount. Amount is the field that we have used, not expected to do. Alright. Now I want to do a summary report, and I want to do the summary using this. Can be done. Just go create a summary field, and you have to show the drop zone. If you're not able to see the drop zone, you must have hidden it. Okay, so click on show drop zone. Drag the op size field that you just created, drag it here. Okay. What data you want to summarize? Amount and expected revenue. Details are being shown. I don't need the details. Hide the details. I don't need the drop zone also. Okay. So this is a custom criteria using which I have done the summary. So out of all the revenue that is being generated, this much comes from big size opportunities, this comes from mid size opportunities, and this comes from small opportunities. So most of my business comes from big size opportunities, which are more than 100,000. So this is something which a company might want. This kind of analysis, or this kind of categorizing the data into different sections based on the reporting requirement can be done by the company on the report itself. So you don't have to actually go and create all the fields on your what do you say this object. You can just be using that on report itself. Got it? Okay. Now the next thing that I want you to understand is a report type. Okay. So what is a report type? Report type is basically again, report type defines which object you want to use for the report. If you see here, when you try to create a new report, create a new report, and you will see that you are asked to select a report type, right? Select a report type. So what exactly a report type is? Report type is just a selection of the object or objects which you want to use for the report. Alright. So this always does not have to be a single object. I told you that your first question should be which object to use for report, right? And this was for your initial understanding. Now let us understand that sometimes you might need a report for multiple objects also. Sometimes you need report for multiple objects as well. Let's say a report for accounts and contacts, a report in which you need to pull data both from account as well as contact. Correct? So that's basically in that case account and contact is going to be the report type. So you will see that there are so many report types listed: accounts and contacts. For opportunities, you have opportunities with products, opportunities with contract roles. So wherever there is a relationship, you can form a report type of multiple objects. Wherever there is a relationship, two objects are related, you can try and pull a report using both those objects. Got it? Now, and you select a report type, and after that you create the report based on whatever report type you have selected. Correct? Now come to the fourth report format, which is the joint report format. What is a joint report format? Joint report format is where you can create a report with multiple report types. So a joint report allows you to create a report using multiple report types. We have seen tabular summary metrics. A joint report is where you can use multiple report types together. Okay, now you must be thinking, why would I need multiple report types? I'm actually going to create a report on one report type, right? Why would someone need multiple report types? Okay, so let's understand this. Opportunities is a separate report type, right? Opportunity is connected to account. It's a separate report type, right? Now, my client comes to me and says that, hey, you know what? I need a report like this. I need a report. In this report, I want to have the accounts listed. All the accounts should be listed. And for each account, I want to see the opportunity details, how much revenue we are expecting, how many contacts we have, and how many cases we have for each account. I want to see the cases, I want to see the contacts, I want to see the opportunities, all in one report. For every account, just now what we did some time back was only account and opportunity. Now your client wants to view this kind of a report, that show me the accounts corresponding to the account. I want to see the opportunity details, contacts, and the cases. Now what are you going to do? How are you going to achieve this? Because this is a separate report type, this is a separate report type, and this is a separate report type. Account is common in all these report types. Account is common, but these are three different report types, right? So if I just select one report type, opportunities, I won't be able to create this kind of a report, right? So what we have to do, we have to use multiple report types here. We have to use multiple report types, right? How do you do that? It's very simple. We just have to go to the report. So let's say I start with the opportunity report. So just start with one single report type first, and then you can add other report types. I'll start with the opportunity report. Let me remove all the columns, and then I need, let's say, opportunity name, account name, remove the filter, make it all time. Right. So I have created a report for account and opportunity, right? Which account, how much opportunity and all. Let me now make it a summary format report. Summarize it using account, summarize the amount. This is exactly what we did earlier. Remove the details, remove the drop downs. Right. So my report for account and opportunity is ready. Now the client is asking that, okay, fine, show me how many contacts for each account and how many cases. So for that I need to bring in more report types, the contact and cases report type. From summary report, you just go to joint report format. Summary report or tabular or matrix report format will not allow you to bring report types, more report types. You have to move to the joint report format. The moment you select joint report format, you will see that this button of add report type becomes active. All right. And this thing, your opportunities report has become block 1 now. You can have 5 blocks like this, okay, which means you can add 4 more report types basically. So let's add report type. The other report I need is of accounts and contacts. Okay, select. Just give me one quick second. One second. Right. So this is our opportunity report. Put it here. Right. Now go and add a report type. Let's get in the contacts and accounts. Contacts, yes. Right. So let's do one thing. I think I'm making some mistake here. Something is not matching here. So what we'll do is we will continue to create this report, the joint report. Fine. We'll create the same report, the account contact opportunity cases report. Right. It might be making some small mistakes somewhere because we are not getting the common field. Ideally, the account should be the common field between opportunity, contacts, and cases. Right. So when you are, the concept is pretty simple. When you are including multiple report types on the same report, this the one the field which is being used for grouping, that should be a common field, right? That should be something which is in all the reports. That should be there in contacts. That should be there in opportunity. That should be there in cases. So what is that field going to be? It's going to be the account, correct? So yeah. So that's what we are actually going to use and create the report, this joint report. We'll continue on this tomorrow's session. Okay, and then we will also continue to talk about the dashboard. All right.
Yes, what